Hey guys, it's been a week since the last video, and today is a very big, important video. Because today we're going to be talking about the mighty, almighty Incantation. So, over the past few years, Incantation has become my favorite death metal band. I just find myself really enjoying the riffs they do. The style, the unconventional riffing is really what got me into them. Because that's kind of my guitar style too. I play guitar very immolation-esque, incantation-esque, and I love the speed, but I also like the doom parts here and there, and yeah, just super consistent band. They've managed to keep that core incantation sound through all the lineup changes, yet still reinventing themselves all the time. Each album sounds super inspired. You never get the impression that incantation's running through the motions. I really respect John McEntee for keeping the show together so long, and Kyle too, which he's an amazing drummer, and those two guys have been keeping this going through any lineup change forever. Especially John too. I mean, been there since the start, and the core incantation sound never left. As long as he was there. So it's really, really admirable and a hard thing to do. So, without further ado, I want to do a rundown of the incantation history and go through my giant collection. I don't have everything. I'm going to leave some details out because I don't edit these videos, I just talk. So if I leave anything out, leave it in the comments so that you can add to the video. And if people want more info, they can visit the comments and see, because, my community helps me a lot with that. So it's a cool thing. So anyway, let's get into the history of the band. So Incantation was formed in 1989, and it was formed by John McEntee and Paul Ledney from another great band called Profane, in which Paul Ledney did not stay in the band very long, but he is a fan of the band, as I'm aware, and he did certain album covers like Blasphemy and not the slipcase, but the original one, which you'll see later. And he still loves the band, but formed by those guys after John McEntee left the very hard-hitting thrash band Revenant, because as far as I know, didn't ask when I talked to him, but he wanted to form a band that was darker and heavier than any of the thrash metal out, and boy did he do that. He took it to the next level, and Incantation's one of those bands that just is devoid of anything but death metal. It's like very respectable for that. There's no hardcore, there's no thrash metal, it's just death metal. It's pure, it's the purest. Like, Incantation is one of those bands where you can safely say this is pure death metal, the purest form it can be, and that's how I've always felt by it. So this band has a lot of lineup changes, so I'm probably going to miss people here and there, and I'm going to try not to, because I want to honor everybody that's been on all of these releases. So we talk about the demo, which I don't have, sadly, and all that, but let's get to the first major release of the band, which would be Incantation, Entrament of Evil. So this is amazing. So you have two album covers on this. You got this album cover, which was, I think this is the second one, and then this is the first one. Yeah. So this is the Hell's Headbangers LP, and you get both album covers on a sick poster I got up. But this is such a cool EP with a great display of classic Incantation songs on it. You get like so much out of this, and cool enough, which a lot of you already know, is that Mortician and Incantation's history is very involved with each other early on. So John McEntee would help out with Mortician, and Will Romer would go and help out with Incantation. So yeah, Will Romer's actually on vocals on this one with John, Ronnie Dio, rest in peace. And this is just an amazing EP. This has got to be one of my favorite EPs ever. And the song Entrament of Evil is just next level shit, and it's really cool to hear these Incantation songs with Will Romer's vocals, like he had vocals on Brutally Mutilated and stuff, because the same time period. But yeah, it's just really cool to hear this material, and this is very essential. One of the best death metal EPs of all time. You cannot go wrong with it. So yeah, just an amazing little display, you know, because that's just a fraction of what was to come. So the lineup changes again. This is where what I consider to be the ultimate lineup comes into play, and a lot of you would too, and that would be on the 7-inch, Deliverance of Horrific Prophecies. Now, oh, and I wanted to mention too, you can get this lighter at Hell's Headbangers. Pretty cool lighter. So you get the Deliverance lighter and the 7-inch. So this is an original pressing Deliverance, as you can see. And this has quite the fucking lineup on it. So you get John McEntee on guitars, Craig Pillard, which we're going to talk more about that guy because holy shit, the vocal chops on that guy are insane. And then he's on guitar and vocals. I think I said that already. But then you got Jim Rowe. Jim Rowe, very, very important. Jim Rowe's drumming style is super important to this band. And I've noticed the other drummers that came after Jim Rowe, they add their own flair to it. But they all respect Jim Rowe's playing style. Because Jim Rowe, this guy's a fucking important drummer. Just the drumming on these Incantation releases are as important as a lot of the guitar, you know. This is a very drum and guitar driven band for sure. But you know, and then Ronnie Dio again too. Sorry to leave you out for last. But this is a solidified lineup here, and these guys went on to make legendary stuff together, absolutely legendary stuff. And you get Deliverance of Horrific Prophecies and Profanation on this, and words just can't be said enough how good this 7-inch is. This is definitely probably a top 3 death metal 7-inch of all time in my book, and it's just a raw version, and it goes well with Entrament of Evil, but it's a raw version of what you were going to get next. And when we talk about the next album, I'm going to try to contain my excitement because I kind of love the next album a lot. So yeah, Deliverance of Horrific Prophecies. That is that. Glad to own that, by the way. Wouldn't be the same without that in the collection. So, what do we get next? The be-all, end-all, mother of all death metal. What are we talking about? We're talking about Onward to fucking Golgotha, obviously. This album is unbelievably heavy, just pummeling, in your face, but also magical. The riffs transcend songwriting, in my opinion. They just take songwriting to a level where I stopped considering them songs almost, and these are more passage. Like, it sounds like they're kind of evoking something, or like, just like, it's kind of hard to describe. Just like, wow, like when you start the song Golgotha, dun 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 dun, 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 one of the best intros ever. Devour Death, just incredible. And all the songs in the album, you know, I don't want to name every single one, but another highlight that they actually started playing live again a lot more lately is Immortal Cessation. That song's amazing. So this is a song on the album that has these melodic undertones, and it works so perfectly. It's kind of a standout on the album, but all these tracks are. Christening the Afterbirth, just like all these songs are just unbelievable. You see the song list right there. You can't go without of them. And even the bonus track, which I don't really know if I would consider it a bonus track at this point, but I know it was considered that at some point. Eternal Torture was fucking amazing. It is amazing. I shouldn't say was. But yeah, this is the black version from 2015 with the Relapse 25th anniversary. Very happy to have that. I bought this when the green one wasn't out yet in 2023, so bought this before that came out. But this album has just no words, no bounds to say how good it is, you know? And I think I credit this album a lot with being the first, like, just pure ass death metal, you know? Like, there's other death metal that you can make an argument has a lot of thrash metal in it. Even stuff like Effigy of the Forgotten has a lot of thrash metal in it, you know? A lot of stuff has hardcore in it, but just pure death metal right here. And I think in terms of debuts too, Onward to Golgotha is one of the most mature debuts. A lot of those death metal debuts are my favorite things ever, but you can tell they're amateur and stuff. This sounds like it was not made by young people. This sounds like it was made by guys who had experience and were really making some ritualistic shit. This is the album you want to make as a death metal band. This is an album that creates mystique, legend, and curiosity, and it makes you want to check it out. Even the album cover too, which is genius. I know some people don't understand Golgotha to this day, which can be said for Incantation in general. Not everybody likes this style of death metal because it's the truest form of death metal and not everybody can handle it. I didn't say that. Who said that? Anyway, Golgotha is just a masterpiece, and I don't want to take too much time on one album because we got a lot of shit to go through. I was just looking at the collection and like, holy hell, we need to get going. So anyway, the point is Golgotha is a masterpiece. Ronnie Dio, Craig Pillard, John McEntee, Jim Rowe, they created this masterclass of an album, and it's forever engraved. Probably easily top 3 death metal albums of all time. Kind of inarguable to me. I know there's a lot of good death metal albums, but it's like the power in that one. The production. I forgot to mention the goddamn production. How could I do that? Because that shit is fucking amazing. The production is like what I could only dream for, having something similar on a release. Like, it just sounds like the speakers are blown out and you're just being fucking bombarded. Like, you're just being bombarded and pummeled, and at the same time there's this magical riffing wizardry going on, you know? And that's the other thing I wanted to mention is that Incantation is kind of more technical than people get them credit for. Because like the unconventional playing and the fact that they're not technical death metal doesn't really mean anything. They got some hard stuff to play. And then, by the way, here's the original CD. This one's pretty cool. You get the boys on the back. You don't get that on the vinyl, but you do on the OG. But fuck, dude, I can't afford that shit. I wish. But yeah, Golgotha is so special. 6 CD here too. Just gotta show it off because I forget, like, this is a collection showing video too. So gotta show off the actual physical media too. Now next, this was originally my favorite Incantation album, and it's kind of the album that actually got me into the band. I didn't get into the band from Golgotha, if you can believe it. That was right after, but I got an interesting history with how I got into this band and how I traversed this band, because this band took me a little bit of time to get into. It wasn't like an instant like falling in love, but the best love of music is the stuff that you have to build up to, in my opinion. That's the most satisfying shit. So anyway, the next album is the only way that a band could have had another back-to-back victory is releasing something like this. Mortal Throne of Nazarene, which came with that flag, and this was a recent Relapse issue, which, wow, they did a beautiful job on this. Just absolutely gorgeous. But Mortal Throne of Nazarene is a perfect follow-up album because some people don't like the production on this. It's got very black metal-esque production, but it's mixed with death metal production. If you have the ear for it, there's plenty of death metal production in here still. It's not as boomy or bassy as Golgotha, but it's very low. Craig Pollard's vocals are even lower. The riffs are crazy. Like if you listen to the beginning of Demonic Incarnate, just that's a really, really cool riff, and like that whole song is amazing. Iconoclasm of Catholicism, Ibex Moon. I mean, all this stuff is crazy. And then Blissful Blood Shower is a fucking like 50-second song that's just, I just love that song for some reason. That song just fucking, I love it. And I have a short of when I saw him live playing that song. But I fucking love that song. And but my favorite song on the album is Demonic Incarnate, honestly. And I just think that song is fucking genius, you know, and I love playing that one. And then don't even get me started on Abolishment of Immaculate Serenity. Oh my god, dude. The 8-minute track that just destroys your soul. This is crazy. This is a crazy fucking album cover too, mind you. But I think John McEntee got even more into his riff wizardry on this. I think this album is it's a little bit less difficult to pull off playing wise from my experience, because I've learned songs on Golgotha and Mortal Throne. But Mortal Throne is even more unconventional, and it's like even further away from any other band. Like this is a very, very unique release, and it's just a hell of an album. There's just so much ear-piercing stuff, and this is the original, by the way. I don't want to get like banned on YouTube for showing the CD, but that's really cool artwork, and you get the other one, which I'll show next. But yeah, just Mortal Throne. This is the OG, by the way. Mortal Throne is just an incredible album. And it's kind of the way I got into it, because I remember I was addicted to this. I couldn't stop listening to this and their next studio album, if you're not counting Upon the Throne, which I'll talk about a little bit with this one. But it's just like so different, you know. It's like an album that you can't get anywhere else, you know. You can't get Mortal Throne of Nazarene from anything else, even by Incantation. Like this is such a different album. It's so out of left field, and they were so smart to make an album like this, in my opinion, because you don't need another album like Golgotha. You're not going to top that. So the only thing that you can do is make an album in a different field that's still Incantation, but very different. And you get this. So with that, I'm going to briefly talk about Upon the Throne of the Apocalypse, because, you know, these go together. This is just a reissue CD here. But Upon the Throne of the Apocalypse is very good too. I don't really reach for it as much. I know a lot of people prefer this one to Nazarene, but I think Nazarene sounds more, it sounds even more original and more like there's more of like a vision here. People prefer the rough mix because it's more punchy, but actually you lose some of the high-end clarity on it, and I think the high-end stuff is really important on Mortal Throne, because there's a lot of melodic touches, there's a lot of pinch harmonics that will start to Demonic Incarnate could get lost in the mix if it's too low. So Upon the Throne's very enjoyable by all means, and it has badass album cover, 95, 94, but I just prefer I prefer Mortal Throne for sure. And I think that's more what I envision of those songs, you know. And it is cool too, though, that you get like the reverse track order on Upon the Throne. That's kind of cool. So next up, I want to mention a cool thing that I've never seen anyone on YouTube talk about, really. Actually, I've seen a couple people talk about it now that I think about it, sorry. but not this specific pressing. I might be the only one on YouTube who has one of these. And that's Incantation Tribute to the Goat. This is probably the most rare Incantation disc that you could get, I think. This one in particular is so rare. It's a live album. Half the songs feature Craig Pillard, half the songs feature John McEntee. He came back for this to do some live tracks. And I don't think you can see the track list, but this is my favorite live death metal album of all time. Awesome pictures too. Oh yeah, and we got the Mr. Important Kyle here too. So very, very cool. But I'll just show off this. This isn't really a huge part of their discography or anything, but it's a killer live album. And you get awesome art, just this classic stuff. And I'm going to take the CD out because this is kind of the coolest part, is that this is the numbered version. It's my copy is literally number 6 out of 666. You can't really see it. And there's actual goat blood on it. Actual fucking goat blood. How cool is that, dude? That's a CD that is I'll tell you what, this is probably this is definitely one of the most amazing CDs in my collection. We'll leave it at that, man. I mean, what more do I need to say? But it's an amazing live album that I just wanted to briefly go over because fucking hell, dude. I mean, just go check out Tribute to the Goat if you haven't. I promise you'll love it if you like some live death metal albums. I know a lot of people don't listen to live death metal albums, but if you do, that's the one to go to, like, before anything else. Next up, we have The Forsaken Morning of Angelic Anguish. Just look at that goddamn album cover. Now this is probably my number one favorite EP from Incantation. I love Entrament, but this has a one-up on it a little bit because you're getting Diabolical Conquest songs on a fucking EP with Craig Pillard on vocals. So you're getting the best of both worlds. So you get Shadow from an Ancient Empire, you get all these great songs, and they cover Scream Bloody Gore from Death, which is really cool. And then you also get, actually, do they do that on this? Wait, let me check, because this is this is the first vinyl pressing. I had the CDs before, and I don't know, this has the reissue CD track list. That's cool. So on side B, you get a bunch of re-recorded songs from Mortal Throne of Nazarene, because I think some people complained about Mortal Throne of Nazarene's production. I would not have been one of them, obviously, because I fucking adore the album. It's my second favorite Incan album. But it's cool. They made everybody happy with that. The outro is cool here. But this is just a awesome album, and it was really cool to see Incantation live because they played all of this. They played the whole EP live, like in order, which was cool to see. And I also have the OG. This is the original Repulse Records edition. So OG there, really cool to have. This has just a beautiful print on it, probably my favorite print. And then I also, because I'm crazy, have a reissue version, so that's how you tell the difference. The original has the Incantation name here and the yellow. The Relapse reissue has the bonus track songs, whereas the Repulse version doesn't, and it has slightly altered artwork, so that's how you tell. But Forsaken Morning is a lot of people's favorite thing the band ever did. Not enough material to compete with the full-length albums to me, but I could see where people are coming from with that. Next, now this is a lot of people's favorite album. Of course, you don't even need me to tell you what I'm talking about, probably. But probably their most popular album, Diabolical Conquest. So this has no more pillared sadly. But lucky for Incantation, they've had nothing but fucking top tier vocalists on everything. So this has Kyle Severn, which chef's kiss on drums. Obviously John McEntee. Let me just say John's on every one of these albums, so I probably don't need to say he's on each album. And then, wow, who do we have on vocals and guitars? That guy, Daniel Corchado from Cenotaph, which Gloomy Reflection, that album right there, that poster, it's one of my favorite death metal albums too, probably in my top 10. But Diabolical Conquest is just an incredible album. There's not another album from Incantation that quite has the atmosphere like this. This has very good song structuring. The band is super mature on this one. The vocals are so different, but so good. I forget exactly how long the last song on the album is, but basically on side B for the LP version, there's just side B has only 2 songs, because Unto Infinite Twilight is like a 17-minute song, but it's an amazing song. And I remember I used to go on the plane a lot to visit my girlfriend who used to live in El Salvador, and I would listen to this album all over and over again on the plane and just like look out at the sky, and I would have this album playing. This is one of the most best atmospheric albums ever. This is a copy, limited to 500, beautiful color too. But this album's just amazing. I'm looking at the song list and it's like, wow. It's just like all of this is amazing. And this was another one of the first, like with Mortal Throne. It was really Mortal Throne and Diabolical that got me into Incantation. Onward was just something that I was like, wow, I can't believe that I didn't like this one earlier. Like, you know. But yeah, Diabolical's incredible. I think they still have copies of that, so I would really recommend picking it up. And then the CD, this is just a reissue. I'll try to replace it with an OG sometime, but this does for now. Got this from my buddy Rosh. So Diabolical Conquest is fucking amazing, as you all know. It's a lot of people's go-to for a reason. All right, now we're getting into the period where people would say this is not as much the classic era of Incantation, but come on, boys, like, you know damn well that it's going to be just as good. A lot of it. Maybe not like Golgotha, Nazarene good, but holy shit, come on. So, let's talk about the Infernal Storm. Now, this album is really interesting. It's probably one of my, I don't want to say lesser favorites, but it's probably lower. Because after an album like Diabolical, this one's a little more monotonous than the other albums, but it's so good still. I actually forgot the song name, so I'm gonna look at it. But yeah, Sempiternal Pandemonium. No wonder I forgot. I can't even pronounce it. These guys have great song titles, but like, you know, you gotta have like a higher IQ to say them. Anyway, okay, one of my favorite artworks right off the rip, but that song that I got distracted of, I love the intro. It's like this bass track with this guitar. It's hard to describe. You got to go check it out. I mean, check out the whole album. Don't just listen to that one track, but that would be the one track that I recommend from the album. But yeah, this is just an amazing record. And it sees Mike Say's. I actually, sadly, I don't really remember. I used to know, but I don't remember what other bands he was in. But Mike Say's is a cool vocalist, dude. I really like his vocals on this. And this album has a really cool, twisted sound to it. And the monotony isn't so bad on the album. It's kind of nice because, like, it's a very easy album to listen to at the same time. It's not monotonous to where you're, like, falling asleep. It's more, like, dreamy, like you kind of just get like, whoa, like this is wild. But it's a very good album with a very, very good album cover, and I highly recommend this. And Mike Say's, like I said, he's a great addition to the band. He really is. I think that his vocals are still top tier, you know. Are they as good as Daniel or Craig? That's up for debate, but Mike Says is really good. Like, uh, you know, they made a good decision picking him up. Now, a personal favorite, which gets way too much shit. This is the only reviewed album I did on Metal Archives. The only album I've ever put a review out for. Like, a big review, too. It would take you a while to read all that. But the album that's next is Blasphemy, dude, which I was saying Paul Lidney did the album artwork for this. But for the love of anything, I can't understand why people don't like this album. I know the production is weird, but sometimes when people say that, I just feel like I don't want to sound snobby, but it's like, do you really love Incantation? Like, they're kind of unconventional if you haven't noticed, and it's like their production is like, this is really cool production on here. Like, I love the production on here, and this album has so many fucking bangers, and I'm gonna highlight one in particular called A Once Holy Throne, because that one just has this build up like nothing else, you know. It's just fucking amazing. And Rotting with Your Christ is amazing. I mean, every song is so cool. The cool thing about the LP, which I don't mind, is they cut out the 30-minute like interlude that was just used to piss Relapse off. I don't really need that, but I like the story behind why they had it. But this is really a cool album. Like, don't look at the reviews and like on Metal Archives or something. It's just like, this is such a good album, and I don't like that so many people think this is like the least good thing they ever did. I mean, I understand, but it's like, I don't know, man. This is a good album. Like, they really did good. And Mike said this would be the last time Mike Says was on vocals, and it's like, I just don't know, man. Like, you look, oh, and his weak hand too. I just spotted that too from glancing. Like, dude, I don't know. This is a great album, and I would not pass up on this for the life of me. Like, that's a Hell's Headbangers reissue. Some of these next ones are, and got the CD too, which has a banger ass slip cover. Like, look at that artwork. That's just sick. But I don't know. Like, I just really always liked Blasphemy, and I never quite understood like why it was like the most hated album. But anyway, moving on. There would be a little break between albums between Blasphemy and this, but they came back strong, and I think this was the period where John, or maybe it was after the next album I'll talk about, but there was a period John said the band almost just dissolved. I think it's after these two albums though. No, it's before, because he decided he'll do vocals on his own. So anyway, we have Incantation with Decimate Christendom. This is a really, really kind of different for them. But a lot of good material here. This is this is not really one of my go-to Incantation albums though. This artwork is very, very impressive and everything. And it's got a cool sound. And John, if you're watching this, you're an amazing vocalist. Like, this dude should have never had doubts that he could carry the torch on his own. And the addition of like high scream vocals on this album is incredible. Like, John's vocals are amazing. It's a nice touch and addition, and it fits this direction they were going for on the album very well. So that's Decimate Christendom on vinyl. Have the CD too, right there. The next album, this one's, I don't want to say it's my least favorite, but it is. This one does happen to be my least favorite Incantation album. There's not a lot that I can say about it. I like it. It's an enjoyable listen, because at the very worst, Incantation is just going to be really good still. But I just like it. It's okay. I don't reach for it much. CD2. But yeah, Primordial Domination is just, it's very good. It's very solid, but it's probably the one that I reach for the least. But there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing like crappy about it. This is a really good album. It just feels a little less like pushing the envelope than any of the other albums I talked about. Which the next run of albums is, to me, when Incantation really returns to the greatness of, you know, their classic material. And we're going to get right into that right fucking now. So, this is a little album, an amazing album, called Vanquish and Vengeance. Now, Vanquish and Vengeance is 52 minutes in length, but you'd think that it's like 20 because it's that good. This is a very engaging album. There was a hiatus after Primordial Domination from 2006 to this, which was 2012. And you can really tell why they took all that time off, because when they came back, boy, did they come back. This album is next level shit. And I'll tell you, there's not a lot of death metal, old or new, that can get this good. And this is just the beginning of a legendary run of albums that they're about to be on. Because every one of these albums that comes after this, it almost just gets better from here. But just amazing. I'll show these guys again. I kind of forgot Alex Books was on this album. He's in Immolation right now, too. That's really cool. Because Immolation has kind of a close history too with Incan. But Vanquish and Vengeance is amazing. This is a very, very doomy album. Legion of Dis is a song I really recommend. It's the last one on the album. Another long track, but it just moves you. Like, man. Vanquish and Vengeance is very, 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 very well thought out and well done, well produced, well everything. I would definitely check this out. This is on Listenable Records on marble red vinyl. Next, a personal favorite. This is probably my favorite, maybe, from all their newer albums. And that would be Incantation, Dirges of Elysium. This album has everything that I love about new Incantation, but implements all those riffs from Onward to Golgotha and stuff. Holy shit. This album, every song on there, just look at the song list, check out all of them. Bastion of a Plagued Soul, Carrion Prophecy, From a Glaciate Womb. Just all these songs are absolutely perfect. The album cover is absolutely perfect. I could listen to this album like a million times over and over again. I'm absolutely in love with it. I would never get tired of this. The production is unbelievable, by the way. It's got that $1 million gold standard production where it's like really crystal clear, but like punchy and grimy at the same time. You guys knocked it out of the park with Dirges of Elysium. I wish I could have seen him on tour when this album came out, because, man, it's so good. Like, this album to me is so good that, you know how they do, like, full set of Golgotha, full set of Mortal Throne and Nazarene? They could do one for Dirges, you know? The problem is people don't have nostalgia for this album, and there's not this, like, I don't want to sound, like, shitty, but, like, there's so many people who are just like, Golgotha, that's the classic one. I mean, that's my favorite one too, don't get me wrong, but it's like, guys, like, check out the newer albums. Like, these guys are still putting out fucking, like, classics. Like, like, this stuff is on par. Like, let's be real. Dirges of Elysium's amazing. And I also, that's the last time I have, the last CD I have. I'm kind of slacking on the CD game, but, you know, got them on vinyl mostly, so. Anyway, next up, oh boy, another big one. See, this is what I'm saying. They have back-to-back just, like, classics. So Profane Nexus, this one's amazing. With this one, the song Rites of the Locust, you guys probably know that one. It's a very big classic. The instrumentals on this album too are amazing, but I love the solo on Rites of the Locust. This is a very moody and doomy album, even by Incantation standards. This this almost has a sadness to it. This one feels almost kind of sad to me, like an empire is on the verge of downfall and just being crushed. Like, you just feel kind of crushed when you listen to this. It's a very, very heavy album. John's vocals are very brutal. It just sounds like there's more emotion to this one though. And it's an incredible, incredible record. 2017. This is just another example of like being an ultra like newer album that's like you heard it and you're like, well, this is gonna be a classic when it reaches 25. Just absolutely phenomenal. Another just mind crushing album. Then we have Sect of Vile Divinities. This is another personal favorite of mine. Incantation really got experimental with this one too. Prophecies, I can never say that right. I tried to like dissect the word, but didn't work. Black Fathom's Fire is amazing. Dun 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 dun. Like, dude, all the songs on this are so amazing. And the album artwork is killer, as you can see. But I would check this one out if you really like lead guitar and stuff. This is kind of like Incantation's lead guitar, more focused album, and a lot of atmosphere building on this. A lot of stuff going on here. This album is like the opposite of monotony. Like, every song is unpredictable as hell. Like, this is just an unpredictable, amazing album. Production's not as thick or nasty as Dirges or Profane Nexus, but it doesn't have to be. It's amazing, you know. And I wanted to mention that too, that like this shit's just every Incantation's album is different, but it's still Incantation, and it's like I admire that, and I love this album too. Just an absolute mad album, how good it is. So yeah, that's Sect of Vile Divinities. And then next up, this is kind of a monster release. Fucking monster. But if you love Incantation, you love death metal, period. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Tricennial of Blasphemy. What a compilation. Easily the best death metal compilation ever made, in my opinion. I forget all you get on it, so I'm going to be a poser and read the back. You get unreleased recordings, including some new tracks. You get, which are really good too. Pest Savagery is amazing. And side 2 has like Hell Awaits, which was a bonus track on Infernal Storm. Just a lot of stuff. You get the Scapegoat 7-inch, Thieves of the Cloth, which I would love to own the standalone someday. You get rehearsals to blah blah blah, promo stuff from Diabolical Conquest. You get Deliverance or Horrific Prophecies, which is cool. I actually have the 7-inch, which I showed off. Entrament of Evil. I mean, you get so much for your money out of this. You get the live tracks. It's 3 discs. I just got the standard red vinyl, but the artwork is incredible, and like, it's just an amazing record, man. Like, it's just phenomenal. I mean, you get a lot for your money with this. I don't even think they're selling it for like more than a standard record. So get the triple LP. Like, what are you doing if you don't have this? Like, that's absolute madness. Like, you should have this. Just a masterpiece of a release. Like, Tricennial of Blasphemy, it's like they made the smartest decision ever putting this out. Every fan like me would like, this is such a fan service to do something like this. Just absolutely phenomenal, guys. And you got the Autopsy artist who does the newer Autopsy artwork. Forgot his name, but wow, that artwork is just something fucking else. And you see cities in ruins in the background, and then just this desolate area. Wow, absolute phenomenal. And then a little quickie thing. I wanted to go over the Blood Incantation split, because this is really good. The Blood side is really good, and the Incantation side Quantum Firmament. It's a very good song. So yeah, it's got killer artwork too. Just wanted to point that out a little bit. And also that Forsaken Morning had a slip mat. So without further ado, I actually gotta get something. So it's gonna be important here. So anyway, the latest album. I can't wait to what you guys do next. This is Incantation, Unholy Deification. This was such an amazing album, and you even got fucking piano on one song. But this has the modern lineup that I got to see live. You know, you still got Kyle in the studio. You got Chuck Sherwood. You got Luke Shively, and you got John. And then live you got Charlie. And I'll talk about Charlie a little bit after this, because he's a very important person in the death metal scene, as you should all know. But this album's just fucking amazing. When they released the first song, I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, they were kind of returning back to a even older sound, and I think they implemented a lot of new things very well. Just amazing artwork too. They implemented a lot of cool new things, but they also kind of threw back and they kind of simplified it, and that was a good thing. Like, it was good they did that, because they had some albums that were getting wild, and it's like, it's cool to have an album that was just more straightforward like this. It's not, that doesn't mean worse, by the way. This album's fucking incredible. You have a really interesting song listing here, because the songs are kind of placed out of order. I haven't did a deep dive into what all that means and stuff, but it's pretty cool. This copy's limited to 500. It's a great album, and it's cool to have that lineup, because I saw him live, like I said, and I got John, Luke, Chuck, and Charlie to sign this, and I'm sure Charlie will become the main drummer whenever Kyle retires. But he's been an incredible live drummer, and he really understands the old stuff. And I'm actually doing a little project with Charlie that he's helping me with, so that'll come out soon. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you guys either loved this video because you already loved Incantation, or you just love getting into it. This is a long ass video, so I should probably end it before it gets to 50 fucking minutes. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope I made some new Incantation fans, and I hope that everybody who's already an Incantation fan really enjoyed this video. I don't think there's any other videos out there that are that long and that talkative about all this Incantation stuff, maybe. So hopefully it was cool. I'll see you on the next video. Bump some fucking Incantation now. Peace.